I bought my wife an AirTag for safety and threw it in her bag. She went to a psychologist. When I checked the location, the psychologist worked out of a motel on the outskirts of town, and the therapy sessions lasted exactly 3 hours. All and names have been changed for privacy. I'm 34 years old and have been married to Lisa 32 for 8 years. We have 2 children, Emma 6 and Noah 4. Until last week, I thought we had the perfect marriage. I was an idiot. Everything started changing about 6 months ago. Lisa became different, more distant. She started spending more time on her phone, often smiling at the screen and quickly turning it off when I entered the room. When I asked, she said it was just friends or memes in a mom's group. Then, 4 months ago, she announced she was starting therapy. I'm feeling overwhelmed, she said over dinner. Motherhood, work, all of it. I need professional help to sort out my emotions. I was thrilled. Honestly, I'm a big supporter of mental health, and if my wife needed help, I was 100% for it. Of course, dear, I said, whatever you need. How often will you be coming? Once a week, Tuesdays from 2 to 5. Dr. James Clark, he comes highly recommended. Every Tuesday for the next 4 months. Lisa left at 2 o'clock and returned around 5:30. She always looked refreshed, happy, relaxed. Therapy really helps, she said. I was happy for her. 3 weeks ago, a series of car thefts occurred in our neighborhood. Several women were robbed in shopping center parking lots in broad daylight. The news kept talking about it. I was worried about Lisa's safety. She often drives alone, parking in different spots around the city. So I bought her an AirTag, one of those Apple trackers you can put in your bag or attach to your keys. Threw it to her, and then I got caught up in my work and forgot to tell her about it. Last Tuesday, I was working from home. Around 3 in the afternoon, I had some free time, and I remembered I'd left my tablet in Lisa's car over the weekend. I needed it for a meeting at 4. I decided to check where she parked at her therapist's office. Maybe I could quickly drive over, pick up the tablet, and get back to work. I opened the Find My iPhone app and checked the location of her AirTag. My stomach sank. AirTag showed an address on the outskirts of the city, not a medical building, not an office complex. Sunset Inn Motel, a cheap, pay-by-the-hour place I've passed 1,000 times and never stopped by. I stared at the screen, my heart pounding. There had to be a mistake. Maybe the GPS was glitching. Maybe she was nearby, in some office nearby. But I checked Street View on Google Maps. The nearest office was 2 blocks away. The dot on the map showed the AirTag right at the motel. I watched as the dot remained motionless. 20 minutes. 30. An hour. At 4:30, the dot started moving. It headed toward our house. Lisa returned at 5:20, smiling, with a Starbucks coffee in her hand. How did therapy go? I asked, trying to keep my voice even. Great, Dr. Clark is really helping me figure some things out. She kissed me on the cheek and went upstairs to take a shower. She always showered after therapy. I feel dirty after delving into my emotions, she once said. Now I understood the real reason. For the next week, I checked the location every Tuesday, every damn time Sunset Inn. Every time from 2:15 to about 4:30. 3 hours. 3 hours in the motel. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I was on autopilot with the kids, at work, with everything. Lisa would ask if everything was okay, and I'd nod, just tired. The day before yesterday, I hired a private investigator, a guy named Rick, a former cop, recommended by a colleague of mine who had just gone through a divorce. I need pictures. I told him. I need to know who she's with. Got it, Rick said. Next Tuesday. Next Tuesday. Yesterday was Tuesday. Lisa left at the usual time, 2:00. See you later, honey. Sounded so carefree, so normal. I waited for 15 minutes, then got in my car and drove to the Sunset Inn. I parked across the street where I could see the parking lot. Lisa's car was there, a white Honda CR-V, the one I helped her choose 3 years ago. There was a black BMW parked next to her. I didn't recognize it. I sat there, my hands gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turned white. I didn't know what to do. Should I rush in? Wait. My phone vibrated. A message from Rick. I'm here. Don't do anything stupid. Let me work. I saw him a few minutes later, a man in a baseball cap and sunglasses, with a camera, strolling like an ordinary passerby. 20 minutes later, he knocked on my car window. I have what you need, he said quietly. quietly. But are you sure you want to see it now? Show me. He handed me the camera. There were photos on the screen. Lisa getting out of a BMW, smiling. A man exiting the driver's door, tall, about 40, wearing a business suit. They go to the room 207. His hand is on her lower back. She laughs at something he said. They enter the room. The door closes. They've been there for 45 minutes. Rick said, "Do you want to wait until they come out?" Or something inside me broke. "What number?" I asked. 207. "But dude, maybe we shouldn't." I got out of the car. "Hey, wait." I didn't listen. I walked through the parking lot and up the metal stairs to the second floor. The hallway reeked of cheap air freshener and cigarettes. Number 207. I stood in front of the door, my heart pounding so loudly I thought it would explode. I could hear sounds inside, muffled voices, laughter. I knocked. The sound stopped. Silence. Then footsteps. The door opened slightly on the chain. A man, the same one from the photos. His shirt is unbuttoned. His hair is tousled. Yes, his voice was irritated. "Where's my wife?" My voice sounded strangely calm. His face went pale. "Dude, I don't know what you're—" "Lisa," I yelled. "Come out here now." The door slammed. I heard panicked voices inside. A woman's scream. Then the door opened again, this time completely. Lisa stood there, wrapped in a motel sheet, her hair disheveled, her makeup smudged, her eyes wide with terror. "Mark," she whispered, "I can explain." "Explain?" I almost laughed. "You want to explain why you're screwing that guy in a motel while our kids think mom's in therapy." Tears welled up in her eyes. "Please, don't make a scene. Just let me get dressed. We can talk." "Who is he?" I looked at the man standing behind her, now wearing pants but still shirtless. "Mark, please." Is he?" The man stepped forward. "Look, man, I'm so sorry. I didn't know she was married." "Did you not know?" I looked at the wedding ring on Lisa's hand. It was huge, impossible to miss. "She's wearing a damn ring. I thought she was divorced." She said, "Of course she did." I looked at Lisa, my wife, the mother of my children, the woman I trusted more than anything in the world. 4 months?" I asked quietly. 4 months you lied to me about therapy." She didn't answer. She just cried. "Get your things," I said, my voice shaking. "I'm waiting downstairs. You have 5 minutes." "Mar, 5 minutes." I turned around and left before I did anything I would regret. We drove home in silence. Lisa was sobbing in the passenger seat. I was looking at the road, my hands gripping the steering wheel. When we arrived home, the children were with the nanny. I paid her, sent her home, and told the children that Mom wasn't feeling well and that we needed to talk. When they went to bed, we sat in the living room. "Speak," I said, and she told everything. "His name is David. He's a client at her firm. She works in marketing. They met at a work conference 6 months ago. It just happened," is the classic line of all cheaters. "They started with messages, then coffee meetings, then more. Therapy was their cover from the very beginning. She even found a real therapist, Dr. James Clark, to make the story credible in case I decided to check it out. She'd never been to therapy, not even once. Do you love him?" I asked, though I wasn't sure I wanted to know the answer. She remained silent for too long. "I don't know. Maybe I'm confused." "You're confused," I repeated dumbly. "You are confused." "Mark, our marriage, we were stuck in a rut. I felt invisible, like just a mom and a wife, not a person. David makes me feel wanted, alive, enough." I didn't want to hear any more. I didn't want to hear her justify her betrayal with a cliche from a bad movie. "The children can't know," she said suddenly. "Please, Mark, whatever happened between us, the children can't know." I looked at her, this stranger in the person of my wife. "Go away," I said quietly. "What?" "Pack your bag. Go away. I don't care where. To David's, to my parents, to the hotel. But you're not sleeping here tonight. Mark, please, let's just—" "Go away!" I screamed so loudly that I scared myself. "Right now." She went upstairs and returned 20 minutes later with a suitcase. She stopped at the door. "I'm really sorry, Mark. I never meant to hurt you." I didn't say anything. I just closed the door after her. That was 3 days ago. She's been living with her parents ever since. She's been sending messages, begging me to talk, to try to fix everything. Her mother called, saying that all marriages go through difficulties and that I'm overreacting. I hired a divorce lawyer this morning. She said I have a strong case for custody, especially with the evidence of infidelity and lying. The kids ask when Mom will be home. I tell them mom is helping grandma and grandpa. I don't know how long this lie will last. I don't sleep. I don't eat. I just repeat it over and over in my head. Every therapy Tuesday. Every time she came home, smiling, kissing me, hugging the children. It was all a lie. Edit. I don't know what to do. Part of me wants to give her a chance to explain, to try to save the marriage for the sake of the children. The other part wants to never see her again. How can I ever trust her again? How can I look at her without seeing her in that motel room? Need advice? Has anyone been through something similar? Is there even a way to come back after such a betrayal? Update 1. Hello, Reddit. Mark here again. Thank you all for your comments and advice on my first post. The last 2 weeks have been the hardest of my life, but your support has helped me stay sane. I have updates. Some are good, some well. You'll see. Remember David, the guy my wife cheated on me with for 4 months? Well, it turns out his story is more interesting than I thought. 2 days after the confrontation at the motel, I received a call from an unknown number. I usually don't answer, but something made me pick up. Is that Mark? A male voice. Familiar. Who is this? David, please don't hang up. I need to talk to you. I almost hung up, but curiosity got the better of me. You have 1 minute. I didn't know she was married. I'm serious. She said she was going through a divorce. She showed me pictures on her phone. She said it was her ex-husband and that you two had separated. I remained silent. When you showed up at the motel, man, I was shocked. She'd been lying to me this whole time, too. I'm not the kind of guy who sleeps with other people's wives. If I'd known, why are you calling me? I interrupted. A pause. Because you deserve to know the whole truth, and because I have information that can help you. We agreed to meet at a cafe the next day. I didn't tell Lisa she was still sending me daily apology messages, which I ignored. David arrived on time. He looked terrible, dark circles under his eyes, unshaven, his suit rumpled, not the confident man from the detective's photographs. Thank you for coming, he began. I didn't say anything. I just gestured for him to sit down. Listen, he rubbed his face. I feel like a complete idiot. Lisa and I met at a conference 6 months ago. She was charming, smart, beautiful. She said she was going through a bad divorce, that her husband was emotionally distant, that she felt lonely. Every word was like a punch to the stomach. I believed her. He continued. We started talking. She said she couldn't meet publicly because the divorce wasn't final, that her ex could use that against her in custody court. Hence the motel. How do you know she was even telling the truth just now? I asked. Maybe it's just another story. Because I checked. He pulled out his phone. After that day, I started digging. Found your Facebook, your LinkedIn, saw photos of your family. Happy, recent, doesn't look like a couple in the process of divorcing. He showed me his phone, his correspondence with Lisa, months of messages. She called me my ex, complained about the custody battle, sending him photos of the children, calling them the only good thing that came out of that marriage. I almost threw up right there. Why are you showing me this? I asked. Because if she lied to me about you, she's lying to you about me. He paused. Mark, I'm not the only one. Time stood still. What did you say? She wasn't just dating me. When I started digging deeper and checking her social media, I discovered a pattern. She adds men at conferences and industry events. She flirts in the comments. There are at least 2 other guys who have posted about a mystery woman they were dating. The descriptions match Lisa's. He showed me screenshots. Posts on Reddit irony, Facebook, Twitter, men talking about a beautiful marketer who is also going through a divorce. I think she's been doing this for a while, David said quietly. Maybe years. The world was rocking. 4 months of infidelity was bad enough. But years, multiple men, why are you telling me this? I asked again. He looked me in the eyes. Because she used us both. Because you have 2 children who deserve to know the truth about their mother. And because he trailed off. Because I can't live with myself knowing I helped her do this. He handed me a flash drive. It's all here. Our messages, her profiles, screenshots of other guys. Use this in your divorce. I took the flash drive with trembling hands. One last thing, David said, standing up. She's pregnant. My heart stopped. What? Lisa, she's pregnant. She told me 2 weeks ago. I swear I use protection every time, but she says it's my baby. She wanted us to be together. I told her to get the hell out. He left, leaving me sitting there in shock. I immediately called Lisa. I didn't write. I called. Mark, oh my God, I'm so glad you. Are you pregnant? I blurted out. Silence. Who told you this is true? Mark, I was going to tell you, but who is this child from? I don't know. Maybe yours. Maybe. I hung up. He called again a minute later, more calmly. Let's meet now in the park near the house. 30 minutes later, we were sitting on a bench. The children were with my parents. I told them we were having an adult conversation. They didn't ask any questions. How long? I asked. What do you mean? How many men, Lisa? How many times have you cheated on me? Her face turned pale. David told you. Answer the question. She started crying. The same manipulative tears that had worked before. But not now. I'm sick, she whispered. I have a problem. I'm addicted to attention, to the thrill of a new relationship. I started therapy. Actually, don't you dare. I was on edge. Don't you dare talk about therapy after you used it as a cover for cheating. How much? 5, she whispered. Maybe 6. I don't remember all of them. 6. 6 men in 8 years of marriage. And the child? I took a test. I'm 8 weeks along. It could be yours or David's. We can do a DNA test after the birth. Get rid of him. She looked at me, shocked. What? I can't, Lisa. I can't raise a child without knowing if he's mine. I can't look at this child every day and wonder. It's my choice, not yours. Then make your choice. But if you keep this baby, I want a divorce. Full custody of Emma and Noah, and I will fight with every penny I have. She cried harder. Mark, please, I love you. I love our family. I'm going to get real help. I'm going to change. Have you seen a real psychologist? I asked. Boss, no. Did you plan? No. I stood up. A lawyer will contact you. Don't come to the house. If you want to see the children, we'll arrange supervised visits. Mark, wait, I left. Divorce proceedings have begun. My lawyer says the evidence from David's flash drive gives me an excellent chance of securing primary custody. Lisa has hired her own lawyer, who is trying to portray this as temporary insanity in a midlife crisis. I told the kids that Mom and Dad wouldn't be living together anymore. Emma cried. Noah is too young to fully understand. It breaks my heart every day. Lisa still sends messages. Sometimes they are apologies. Sometimes they are accusations if only you paid more attention to me. Sometimes they are threats I'll take the kids and you'll never see them again. I block her everywhere except for one email for legal correspondence. Regarding the pregnancy, she said she was still deciding. My lawyer advised me not to push, but to clearly explain my position. I did so. I don't know how I'll move on, how to explain this to my children when they are older, how to trust anyone again. But I know one thing. I deserve better. My children deserve better. And that damn AirTag saved me from living another year of lies. Update 2. Reddit. Mark is back with you. The last 2 months have been a roller coaster. Good days and bad days. But mostly progress. Healing. Moving forward. This is what happened. 3 weeks after our last meeting, Lisa wrote to me. It was a short message. I terminated my pregnancy. I thought you should know. I didn't know what to feel. Relief? Sadness? I chose to feel nothing and simply replied, got it. She tried to use it as leverage. I did it for us, for a chance to start over. But my lawyer advised me not to answer, and I did. The divorce has gotten messy. Lisa's lawyer is trying to portray me as a controlling husband who spied on his wife using an AirTag. They claim I violated her privacy and that my paranoidism contributed to her infidelity. My lawyer tore this apart. She presented evidence, a flash drive from David with correspondence and evidence of multiple betrayals, detectives' testimony with photographs, notes from my psychologist. Yes, I started therapy, real therapy, where I discussed the children's emotional state. Lisa's lawyer also tried to argue that the children need their mother and that a 50/50 split is best for everyone. Something happened here that I didn't expect. Emma, my 6-year-old daughter, told the social worker that she doesn't want to live with her mother because her mother lies a lot. When I was asked about this, I was shocked. What does she mean? The social worker explained. Emma said her mom told her not to tell her dad about Uncle David, who sometimes picked her up after work. Emma knew something was wrong, but her mom said it was a secret. My 6-year-old daughter knew, not the details, but she knew her mother was lying. It broke my heart and at the same time strengthened my resolve to fight for full custody. Last week, the judge issued a temporary order the children live with me on weekdays. Lisa receives them on weekend Saturday, Sunday. All broadcasts are supervised by my parents in a neutral location. Lisa must begin mandatory therapy and provide monthly progress reports. This is not a final solution, but it is a step in the right direction. When I told the kids, Emma hugged me and whispered, "Thank you, Dad." Remember, David was a client of Lisa's company. Well, when the truth came out that she was dating a client and lying about her family situation, her company launched an investigation. It turned out David wasn't the first client she'd flirted with. There were complaints from other companies about unprofessional behavior. HR had kept it under wraps, but when it became public, they couldn't ignore it anymore. Lisa was fired 2 weeks ago for violating corporate ethics. Her lawyer is now using this in the divorce, claiming she can't afford to support the children without a job and demanding increased child support from me. My lawyer counterclaimed if Lisa can't financially support herself due to the consequences of her own actions, why should the court entrust her with the children? I go to therapy twice a week now, real therapy, not the fake kind. My psychologist, Dr. Rajesh, is helping me deal with betrayal, anger, and guilt. Yes, guilt. I keep wondering what I could have done differently. What I missed. Nothing. He says, "You didn't miss anything. She was a master manipulator. It's not your fault." The children are also in therapy. Emma is seeing a child psychologist who specializes in divorce. Emma is opening up and talking about her feelings. Noah is still too young, but the psychologist says early intervention will prevent long-term trauma. I also joined a support group for divorced parents. Hearing other people's stories helps. I'm not alone. Remember David, the guy who gave me the flash drive? He wrote to me last week. Lisa's parents, who had initially defended her, began to change their minds. Her father, Robert, called me last week. "Mark, I don't know what to say. We had no idea. If we'd known how bad it was." "You believed her." I said, "I did too." "And the kids still see us?" he asked quietly. "We miss Emma and Noah." I thought about it. Emma and Noah love their grandparents. It's not their fault their daughter turned out to be a liar. "Yes," I said, "but on my terms, and no talking about Mom unless I say so." "Of course. Thanks, Mark." They took the kids last weekend. They went to the zoo and got ice cream. Emma said it was fun, but sad without Mom. I don't know how to manage this balance, allowing children to love the mother who destroyed our family. The divorce should be finalized in 4 months. My lawyer is confident we'll get primary custody. There's too much evidence on my side. I started dating. Nothing serious, just coffee with a woman I met at a support group. She had also been through betrayal. We understand each other's pain. The kids are adjusting. Emma still has dark nights when she cries for her mom. Noah asks why Mom doesn't live with us anymore. I explain it as best I can, on their level. Sometimes adults make mistakes, I say, and sometimes those mistakes mean they can't live together anymore. But Mom and Dad both still love you very much. It's not the whole truth, but it's the truth they can understand now. As for Lisa, I don't know what's wrong with her. I've heard from mutual friends that she's struggling, that she's depressed. Part of me sympathizes, but a bigger part of me just doesn't care anymore. She made her choice, again and again. Now she lives with the consequences. And me, I'm moving forward. Slowly, with therapy and support, but forward. Update 3. Reddit. This is my last update. It's been 6 months since I knocked on the door of room 207. 6 months of pain, healing, growth. This is where it all ended. Divorce finalized. 3 weeks ago, the judge signed the final divorce papers. Conditions. I have primary physical custody of Emma and Noah. Lisa gets them every other weekend and one evening a week. Wednesday I got the house. She got her car and half the savings. No alimony in any direction. We both work. We both can support ourselves. Lisa is required to continue therapy and provide quarterly reports. When everything was signed, I felt relief. Not joy, not triumph, just relief that it was finally over. Lisa found a new job at a small marketing company. The pay is lower, but it's work. She lives in an apartment across town, sharing it with a roommate. I see her twice a week when I drop off the kids. We're polite but distant. "Hello, how are the kids?" "Good. See you on Sunday." No more apologies. No more drama. Just two ex-spouses sharing parental responsibilities. The children say her apartment is small but cozy. She cooks them dinner, plays with them, and seems sad sometimes. I'm not asking for details. It's no longer my business. Emma and Noah are still in therapy. Emma understands more now that her mother made big mistakes and that sometimes loving someone doesn't mean living with them. She still loves her mother. It's hard for me, but I will never be the kind of parent who turns children against the other parent. Noah is too young to fully understand. For him, it's just a new normal. Mom lives somewhere else, and we visit her sometimes. Their psychologist says they are doing remarkably well given the circumstances. Remember the woman from the support group? Her name is Sarah. We've been dating for 3 months now. She's amazing, kind, understanding, and has been through her own betrayal. We're not in a rush. She met the kids once. Very by chance, we ran into each other in the park. Emma said she was sweet. I don't know where this is going, but I know I feel happy for the first time in months. People ask me if I regret AirTag, if I regret finding out the truth. No, not for a second. Yes, it destroyed my marriage. Yes, it hurt my children. But it also freed me from the lies, from the woman who would never stop cheating, who would never stop manipulating. I deserve better. My children deserve better. And now we have a chance to build a better life, an honest life. So thank you, Apple, for creating the AirTag. And thank you, Reddit, for being here along the way. I'm subscribing for the last time.